Hello and welcome to a video that's not really a Let's Play. It's actually going to be a video discussing some of the coolest, weirdest, and honestly awesome things that you can do in Breath of the Wild. These are 6 really cool details that I love about the game and that aren't really included in other people's videos. That's one of the things that prevented me from making this video earlier, is I found a bunch of stuff and I was like, and there's another video of that. But before we proceed, spoiler warning. This video will have spoilers that pertain to some mechanics and some minor spoilers for some of the minor subquests. Not much, but I'll be completely honest, there is a little bit, and I don't want you guys to get angry because I spoiled that one subquest that is pretty awesome, and I do encourage that you play it, but there is a minor spoiler for it, and I don't really want to, ignore the fact that it's just an awesome detail. So let's just jump into it. You have been warned, there are spoilers. So at number 1 is something really simple. Did you know you can control guardians? Now, I know this may sound like an April Fool's prank done by Game Informer, which, by the way, guys, good job on your April Fool's prank. That one was pretty cool. But there is actually a way to sorta kinda control guardians. You can force them to fire their laser. Normally, the guardian process for charging its laser is a very slow process in which it aims, it targets, and then it fires. But this is easy to do with the stationary ones. There's a button, sorta, on the back of their head, where if you strike it, they'll just fire at randomly. Whichever direction they're facing, they will just unleash their laser. Now, is this useful? Not really. I'll be honest, it is completely pointless, but it is really funny to watch a guardian just shoot its laser constantly without actually aiming or doing anything with it. Up next is kind of a silly one. Believe it or not, you can bake a cake. It's one of those things that it's kind of just funny that you can do it. I mean, it's consistent in a way, but you can actually make it both vegan/vegetarian and completely non-vegan/vegetarian. The cake ingredients are literally 2 pieces of fruit, 1 thing of sugar, 1 thing of wheat, and you could or could not use an egg. Personally, as someone who knows how to bake cakes, eggs are literally how you make them, but they, I guess, threw them in there just as kind of a little, you don't really need an egg. You can actually increase the strength of the fruit by adding an extra fruit. Now, the thing that is kind of weird about it is you can't use 2 of the same fruit, but you could add a 3rd fruit. It's a very complex recipe, very complex. But you can find the recipe in Hyrule Castle. That's where I found it, and I was like, that is pretty awesome, and so I just wanted to throw it in there. Up next, we're going to stick to the same Rito village that I was just making that cake in. Did you know that there are actually 2 versions of the Rito theme? There is the original, which has actually been playing in the background of this video, just because I love it. It's a beautiful little piece, and it honestly gives that nice, peaceful sound. But the second version is after you complete a certain subquest, in which I am not actually going to name, and you kind of get a completely different sound. Now, I'm actually not going to show where, I'm not going to show the end results of the subquest, but just take a listen to this. We're switching it over, and it is an amazing little piece. I love it, because it just definitely, it has a lot of personality in life, especially after you go through what you have to unlock it. Alright, so now we're going to leave Rito Village. We're going to climb to the top of a mountain where it is frigid. Except you'll notice Link isn't cold. And that's because, believe it or not, when you have a flame weapon equipped, you raise your body temperature. It's actually a really awesome detail. Not only that, but it melts the ice around you. Like, it is so hot that it melts ice. And removes it from the freezing point, which is pretty cool because when you're looking at this, it's like, I don't need fire arrows, I don't need to make a fire in front of them. I can literally just stand here and the ice will start to melt. And then, if you light a fire, you can actually sit at that fire naked in the snow. It's one of those really, really cool little details about messing with the temperature scale. It does work on the flip side. With an ice weapon, you can walk through the desert in the middle of the heat without much issue, as long as you've got one piece of cooling gear on it. And it's just really, really cool to see that you can kind of just use your weapons to manipulate around. Now, I would not advise trying to use an ice weapon on Death Mountain. It lets off a whole ton of steam. I don't know if it will eventually destroy the blade, but I do believe it will. And the next really cool thing on our detail also has ice involved. I don't think was English, but we're going to keep that take anyway. So if you get the full Ruto gear set and you find a Great Fairy, at least 2 of them, you can upgrade it so that you can unlock its hidden stat. Now, every piece of armor has a hidden stat. I tried my best in this video to not show any hidden stats because that is one of the more interesting parts about upgrading your armor. Now, the hidden stat to the Rito is unfreezable. Now, why that is amazing is because I thought, it just meant that ice attacks won't freeze me, I'll still take damage. But no, watch this Wizrobe try and try and try to do damage to me. It can't. It just physically can't hurt me. The worst it can do is summon a key that I think could hurt me with physical damage, but it can't hit me with the frozen damage. That is cool all in itself, but if you remember from earlier in the game, there was this frozen water that you had to get across. It was quite difficult, actually. With this armor, you can just swim across. You are literally so unfreezable that frozen water doesn't even slow you down. You can just chill in the frozen water all you want, and that, to me, is pretty awesome. I do really like that. And then, finally, we're going to take it down to Hyrule Field. Hyrule Field and the Great Plateau. When you try to shield surf, you can shield surf in grass, and it works generally pretty well. If you try to shield surf down concrete, though, it doesn't work at all. And one of the mechanics that people both love and hate in the game is rain, because it slows down your ability to climb up things. Believe it or not, if there is at all even a slope, and you're trying to get down something, and it's raining, go ahead and shield surf. When it's raining, it reduces the friction of the surface like it would in real life, which is insane to me that they actually made that detail. But you can use rain to make your shield surfing game go to an all-new level. It's actually faster than snow, which is crazy. As you can see, I'm at the top of the same grass hill that I was bombing earlier, and just look at Link go. It is so much faster. And it's pretty awesome. I love this detail, and honestly, it is my favorite way to get around. I ran from a Guardian like this once. I look back and I'm like, oh look, the Guardian. It's still aiming at me, but it's really far away. So it is actually one of those really cool things that you can do, especially if you like the sillier navigation techniques such as shield surfing. Alright, bonus time. That's right, there's 7 on this list. There was originally going to be 6, but as I was adding music to this video, I discovered this. This may sound like noise. This may just sound like noise. But when you speed up the horse songs, both track 6 and 7 on the soundtrack, there are hidden melodies in them. Both of them have hidden melodies. And I'll just let you listen to them, and I'll shut up. And I'll see you in the outro. Alright, and there you go. That wraps it up. That is all of the crazy, silly things that you can do in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I personally love these, and there's so much more to love about this game. Honestly, take your time, play with it, and you will find some pretty crazy things. So thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for commenting. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next Let's Play. So Wolfie, out.